Welcome back to Alex Lawn Adventures. We have a nice windy day here, so if the audio kind of sucks, sorry, the wind is blowing. But I'm going to show you a few things in the lawn. We did a 4th of July fertilizer, and so the lawn is actually looking pretty well. Here's the front yard. It's looking nice and green. The fertilizer, I think, did really well. You can kind of see my stripes a little bit there. But this front yard, and this from the curb to the sidewalk and all around, is doing well. But over here is no fault of the fertilizer, but over here is struggling. And what I mean by that is it looks really thatchy. Like you can see just all this dead stuff. And over here is the same way. It just, I think this tree takes a lot of the water, a lot of the nutrients, and a lot of the sun from this area. And this has always been a problem area over here. And like this bush right here, maybe taking some of the nutrients and everything. And so you can just see it's just really, really thatchy looking. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that they say you're not supposed to do in the summer. I'm going to take this Greenworks Dethatcher. This is the electric one. They have, Sun Joe has one, and then they also have a battery version. This one, just you plug it into with an extension cord, which I got there, and then it's got little tines on the bottom that this will spin, and these tines will take that dead matter out of the lawn, and then it throws it through this little chute deal, and then you just pick it up. You could probably rake a lot of this stuff out, like this pile of stuff probably come out of the gutters or out of the downspout when it wasn't on there. So some of this I'm gonna rake out so I don't hit all that crap. But it looks really, really thatchy. There's a lot of dead spots, it looks like. So I'm gonna try to dethatch it. I don't know if you guys can see, but over the top of the neighbor's house, it's really gray skies. We're supposed to get a rain shower here in a little bit. And then above my house, it's really gray skies. So I'm going to try to get this done before it rains. So that way then maybe the rain can help with some of the stress. So we're going to get after this. If you don't have one of those dethatchers, just a regular rake, it probably is going to take a lot of this crap out of there. So, I mean, you can just see, look at all that dead stuff that's just coming out with just a rake. Especially like this spot right here. And you can see that's all just dead grass. And it's not that from the summer, like it's not going dormant, it's just dead for some reason. So we're just gonna get this bigger stuff raked up that I don't want to hit with the dethatcher. So we have the dethatcher plugged in. We rake some of the bigger stuff out. This is going to look like you're really destroying your yard. It really does not look very good when you do this, but you're pulling all the dead stuff out. So it's trying to help your lawn breathe and pull in more water and get all this thatch out. That's the whole point. So it's not going to look very good at first. So from just that one pass that I did, all this crap is what it pulled out. I don't know if the camera picks it up very well, but it pulled out a lot of junk. Now remember, this is gonna make this look really holey, really patchy, really bad, but hopefully it's gonna grow back in better than what it's looking like now. That's the whole point of doing this. So that is one pass over this whole area. It looks like a lot of stuff, and it is. It really pulls up a lot of thatchy, dead material. So what we're gonna do now is you can either rake this all up or use your push mower and bag it all up. It's a little area, it's not gonna take very long. So I'm just gonna use a rake and rake this up. This is just the first pass. If you wanted to, you could go over it again and again, depending on how many times you really wanted to go over it, you could. But the biggest part about this one is the cord gets in the way. The battery ones look like they would be really nice, but again, it's battery operated, so that way then once the battery dies, you're done. Whereas this one's plugged in, so as long as you have power to your house, you're gonna keep working. So we're gonna grab a rake and rake this up. So that is quite a pile of thatch and debris. It looks pretty patchy, pretty holey, pretty bad. So what I may do to relieve some of the stress, since this angle you can really tell how little grass there is. This area has just always been very, very hard to get grass to grow with the tree, the bush, everything going on. So to relieve some of the stress, I'm going to use that same fertilizer that I used on the 4th of July, that liquid fertilizer, and I'm going to apply some of that to see if I can just help some of this remaining grass, because it's really not looking the best. It's really weird because it's just right after this bush right there is where it stops, and then the rest of this is just fine. So I don't know. And it's just right there at the corner of the house, you can tell. And every year it's like this. So I'm gonna get this pile cleaned up now, and then we'll spray some liquid fertilizer on it. So while I mix this, I'll tell you a funny story. I got that dethatcher about 2 years ago, and when I first got it, it was like middle of May, beginning of May probably, and I used it on the lawn, and the lawn looked terrible. Like afterward, it was clumped up with grass. I'll insert a picture if I can find one of what it looked like. But yeah, my lawn did not look very good at all. And Allison was so mad because she thought I was destroying the lawn and I didn't know what I was doing. But then within a week or two, the lawn come back to life. It looked fantastic. It looked better than what it did before. And I proved to her that, not that I completely knew what I was doing, but I knew somewhat of what I was doing to make it look better. So hopefully this will look good because Allison's not home, we're supposed to have family coming over this next weekend, so hopefully this don't look too terrible. But like I always say, you can buy grass seed. So come fall time, I can put more grass seed on it like I do every year and see if I can get grass to grow. I highly doubt it will grow, but you can always throw it down. Perfect. 1 gallon. So we got our fertilizer mixed up and we got this area right here done. But I'm also going to dethatch this little area right here. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to. I'm going to not do this. And I'm going to see the comparison. You can see right where I stopped, right here. So this half is not dethatched. This half is dethatched. I'll spray that fertilizer over all of it. And you know what? We'll just compare. We'll see what the difference is between having it dethatched and not, and see if there is any difference. You know, it's always going to be patchy and holy. This ain't going to make the grass grow in these spots like this big old dead spot right there. But hopefully it maybe greens up the grass a little bit and helps get some oxygen in there, and then let this fertilizer down in there a little bit better. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're not going to do that left side, and we'll do the right side dethatched, and we'll see how that goes. Since it is so windy, I'm not going to use a sprinkler. I'm just going to use the garden hose and water this in. That way it soaks into the plant. So I will do an update on how this turns out. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.